Hey, welcome back to Crypto Gains for another video. I want to talk to you about VRA, Veracity, Verasity, that's what I call it. We're just going to take a look because the supply has just been updated and they did drop this post on their Medium page explaining the tokenomics and why it looks a lot higher than what it was before. Because, you know, if you hold VRA, we were seeing it at a 10 billion-ish supply, and now it says 110 billion. So I'm going to go through this, work out some, you know, like what ifs, you know, if it's to go to a certain price in the future, compare it against other tokens that it may compete against in relation to, you know, market cap, you know, money coming out of some places going into others like Cardano, Xrp. Now I know they do different things, but I'm talking, you know, the money that's to come in. If it's going to compete in the top 10, it's got to compete against these coins in the top 10 and look at their supplies as well and compare them. If it's sounding interesting to you, drop that like, give me a subscribe if you're new watching. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I still think it can still be good for VRA, but you know, we'll just discuss it. So let's take a look at this. When you come over to the Medium page, VRA tokenomics update, let's just click on this here. A lot of things to discuss, but I want to try and just break it down short and easy so people understand what's going on. It says, we are pleased to bring our updated VRA tokenomics article, and with it, in an updated white paper, the expanded tokenomics will give us a fresh approach to Q2 and as we work towards a clear path for enterprise adoption and I've got an itchy nose. renew our business focus on generating revenue alongside our B2B partners, which is it Brightcove, something like that. And let me just scroll down a bit more. So you can see here a little breakdown. So, you know, it's still Veracity, VRA, same smart contract, I'm sure. And then it says here, max supply 110 billion. Again, we had 10 billion before, now we've got 110 billion. Apparently, they're saying that this isn't going to affect the overall circulating supply. The new amount of supply that's come out will not be tradable. Why? Let's break it down. So VRA's maximum supply includes POV maker tokens. What is that? Well, they have a what is it, like a platform or a software, something that's going to be coming on the whole ecosystem of Veracity, right? And you can see it here. Ad tech has $160 billion problem with fraud, and VeraViews is something that's going to help fix this problem. VeraViews is an end-to-end ad stack. Let me just highlight this so you guys can see what I'm reading. VeraViews is an end-to-end ad stack solution that combines the transparency and accountability of blockchain with the security of Veracity's patented proof of view technology. So, you know, you can click read about, you know, read more, little section there, and then it takes you to this thing, and then you can read more on it. But apparently, whatever tokens that have been minted now are only going to be used within this, whether you call it a software or a platform, whatever it is that's going to be for VeraViews, it's only going to be within that. So they claim. And they also say it will not be tradable, meaning it should not affect the supply that we have originally. So we should still be going with the original supply. And the reason they've done this is because apparently they need to be able to give some sort of token or economic towards the new stuff that's going to be happening in VeraViews, and they can use this additional supply to, you know, move forward and backwards to account for the data, something like that. Let's read on. So when I come down here, it says PVR maker tokens that are used within our ad stack and do not contribute to circulating supply, i.e. they are not traded in the market. Total supply, which is reflected on third-party information sites, includes all VRA issued minus tokens that have been burned. While the max supply refers to all coins that will ever come into existence, for simplicity, maximum supply and total supply have been made the same. So that's the reason why they thought, like, if you just, they're going to be using those tokens on their VeraViews, so they thought they might as well just add it all in one as the VRA token on the supply, so you can see it on like CoinGecko and, you know, CoinMarketCap, and all VRA tokens in existence, including marker tokens, are minted at the time of writing. We elaborate on marker tokens and other activities and our planned buy, back, and burn mechanism below. So they're doing a buyback burn mechanism. I'm gonna have to check that because I didn't read that properly. But if you come down here, look, you can read this in your own time. I suggest you go onto it. If you click on CoinGecko, search Veracity. Over here, it shows the medium. You see how I'm highlighting it? It shows a little medium tab, which you can click, and then you can, check out the latest thing. But I'm just going to point some of the things that I think need to be spoken about. So, team token staking. Let me just come down a bit more. Proof of view, foundation tokens, and creation of incorporated. This is important. Let me read this. So, in total, 100 billion Proof of View Foundation tokens will be minted, as previously discussed on the 23rd of 2021. So apparently they said this a year ago, ish, June, July, August, but just almost a year ago in a Medium article, and they paste it here so you can read it. Proof of View Foundation tokens, as we have shared above, are essential to the functioning of our business goals and add tech stack technology. For POV, meaning Proof of View, we make 90 billion maker tokens available, and again, do not impact the supply. So it shouldn't change anything overall. I mean, like I said, I'm going to break it down and show you prices that I believe it can hit still in the future. If it had 100 billion, fine. If it had X amount, I'm just going to show you what I still think, right? And 10 billion foundation, this is important, 10 billion foundation tokens necessary for meeting our business requirements, as we discuss in detail below. As we shared in our recent update white paper, POV maker tokens, 90 billion, are exclusively minted and made available to our enterprise partners purely for the POV utility. They do not affect the VRA circulating / tradable supply. So they're saying it can't be traded. Our centralized exchange partners have been notified of our plan to issue POV tokens and are likewise satisfied that they do not and will not affect the circulating supply of VRA. So any exchanges like KuCoin and all this stuff, you will not be able to trade these tokens, meaning that we should still just be working with a 10 billion supply, even though it shows a max supply of 110 billion. Proof of View Foundation tokens are minted to serve as marker tokens for data circulation. Like I said before, work out some form of data within Veracity's ad tech stack. VeraViews, powered by Proof of View. During ad campaigns for NFTs within the Veraverse ecosystem, for digital resource management, and for related activities for the benefit of achieving the business objectives of the company. We also recently decided to set aside 10 billion tokens, as discussed above. Now, this could affect the supply. Why? Because they're now using this as, let me just read on, in a war chest to fund potential corporate acquisitions, am I saying that right? To advance the adoption of Veracity's technology. So what they're saying is they've set aside 10 billion tokens, or now which could eventually dilute the supply in the future. So imagine this, you've got 10 billion tokens sitting here in like a war chest, whatever they want to call it, and it's right now they're not diluting the supply. We've got 10 billion supply, right? You've got 90 billion doing whatever the VeraViews, and there's 10 billion sitting here. From the moment that they reach out to these new businesses and companies, they need to incentivize them. So they're going to say, well, take some of these tokens as an incentive to, join in the Veracity project. And then that's where things might start to dilute when you see new business and projects come on board. I'm assuming that Veracity will have, agreements with these guys that they can't sell a certain amount or X amount, or they receive it in vesting periods, something like that, so it doesn't just flood the market and down the price. But essentially, we, in the future, there is a possibility that you may end up seeing Veracity having a total supply of 20 billion. Okay, does it affect the price now? Time will tell. I'm going to show you prices that I think it can hit. Whether it's a 10 billion, 20 billion, 100 billion, you're going to see it. We have identified potential. Am I saying this right? Acquisitions. Targets which we believe will serve the company and community interests well. So they've already started, in my eyes, I'm guessing, talking or appealing to new companies that can help Veracity in a good way. And, this is what they're going to use the tokens for. Eventually, the 10 billion tokens we have, and they say it here, eventually 10 billion tokens we have allocated for acquisition purposes talking too fast, will make their way back into circulation. So they are saying it clearly. It says, but we would expect the value of the company acquired to add value to our own market cap. So by them giving a new company some of the tokens, they believe it's going to make the price bump up, and it potentially could, because if you're going to get some big investors or big companies involved in Veracity, it could be a good look. And that's just the way the world works. People want to make themselves a bigger project. I mean, you've seen that program. What's that program? Dragon's Den. Where you got to give away 40% of your bloody percentage. Did I say it right? You know what I mean? And I want, I'll give you all the money, but I want 52%. Just to leave me at 48%. Nah, I worked hard for this all day and night. No one's there. I'm just saying, you've seen it. So they have to have leverage in order to get these new people interested in the project. Cool, I'm fine with that. What's important? We would like to take, let me just highlight all this, because this is important, because they're kind of just, confirming it again to us. We would like to take this opportunity to remind the Veracity community that proof of view maker tokens, meaning 90 billion of them that will be issued, will never be available for trading outside of circulation within our proof of view system. So again, just to confirm it to you, the 90 billion tokens will never come outside of this utility system right here. It will always remain inside. So, I mean, when I first saw it, and then I read through this, and I was thinking to myself, and it's important to let your community. I personally think that the way forward is DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. Have some form of DAO in your system, ecosystem. And right now, Veracity don't have that. Because had you had that, because you got a community tab up here. What's the community tab for? And just click, you would have had maybe like a community vote. Because I'm pretty sure if you're anyone like me, you would have liked to have had a vote to say, look, should we add this to the existing VRA supply, or should we have like a new token called POV added to the Veracity ecosystem where that's going to have 90 billion? Because you can essentially do that. And to be honest, you can still change it right now if you wanted to, Veracity. I personally think you should do a community vote, because all these investors that are invested into your project, it might just confuse them. Because if they're not watching this video, it might just confuse them when they see it. They're thinking, oh my God, it's gone up, I better sell. Panic sell, because it's going to dilute the price of what they've got. So ideally, I can see it's still working if you had a separate token that was part of the Veracity ecosystem called POV. I don't know, point of view, innit? Anyway, proof of view. It's okay. It's okay. I gotta stop. I think that another token would not affect it as much. Because then, you got an ecosystem. Because, these other projects do it. You got VeChain, and you got V4, because you can have Veracity token, VRA, then you can have like VPOV or something. I don't know, something, Veracity's proof of view, whatever you want to call it. At least that way, it doesn't confuse people when they're looking at, where is it? When they're looking at this, right here. Because then you can put that 20 billion, whatever you want to put it. That's my personal opinion. That's what I personally think. What else is there? I didn't finish reading this. So it will never be on the set. It will never ever be circulated or tradable. Outside of that, in turn, Veracity's enterprise, I just took away the whole thing. Let me just highlight this again so you can see where I am. Clients who use marker tokens have no means to manipulate / trade or sell marker tokens. So they're basically confirming that they can't manipulate it in any way, because it's just going to be for that software or platform utility thing. And they never have control over tokens outside of our ecosystem. Okay, fine. If you're saying that, they cannot send them outside of Vera views. Cool. Fine with that. Just real quick before I come off this, because there was another important part, and it's about the people that they're doing this stuff with. Let me find it. It's somewhere here. I think it's called like something Cove, something. But let me find it. I'm getting there. I can feel like I'm getting there. Something Cove. It was one of their partnerships that they had, and they were saying that there's like 5,000 different entities or companies inside that. Is it Brightcove? I think it's Brightcove. I'm just trying to look for it. But if if you're following Veracity, I'm just trying to find it. Brightcove. I can't see it anyway. It's up here. Brightcove. I'm just breezing through, but I think it's Brightcove, and they're talking about how just that one company alone has 5,000 different other people within that service that they can deploy these things to. Is it here somewhere? Am I missing it? My eyes just ain't coming to. I don't know. You check it in your own time. You have a read through and check it in your own time. It is here somewhere, and it does talk about it. But I'm just, because I can't see it, I'm trying to look through it quickly. I can't find it, kind of thing. But it is here, and it is a good look. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is because if it has 5,000 other, potential companies or participants that could potentially use it, that's a good look right there. You're getting more people involved in Veracity. So anyway, it's here somewhere. I can't find it. I've tried looking everywhere. Oh, what's this? Is this it here? Hold on. Brightcove. Our partnership with Brightcove has opened the door to, multitude of enterprise opportunities, making VeraView's ad tech stack available to be deployed. Look, here we go. Brightcove's 5,000 clients. While VeraView's, I got to read it, now sits on the Brightcove marketplace through VeraPlayer and will soon be available natively through the widely adopted Brightcove player. It's important to remember that that it's Brightcove's 5,000 clients, not simply Brightcove themselves, who will be adopting the solution. So that's a good look. It seriously is a good look. I'm going to have to check out this Brightcove. What is it? I'm just quickly search it, because people be like, who's Brightcove? I'm like, who's Brightcove? Who's Brightcove? Okay, so actually, I think I have heard of it before. So, Brightcove. Cool. Player. And if 5,000 different entities using it, cool. Or companies, whatever it is, it's a good look. So what do I think? What do I think it's going to do to... How is it going to affect... I've got the top 10 here, because I do see Veracity coming into the top 10, 15, 20, whatever you want to call it, competing against these coins. What does it do to the price? Where can it go now in price? I still think that it can hit £2 to £3. That's my personal opinion. I mean, let's just go on the basis that, and again, I know they're saying that 90 billion will never, that's the wrong thing, talk about it in a second. 90 billion will never ever come outside of this VeraViews, right? So, but let's go on the basis that it accidentally did and it had 100 billion in supply. Well, we've seen tokens like Xrp with 100 billion in supply hit all-time high prices of £2.50. I'm just going to highlight it here so you can see. And again, we're only talking supply. I'm not talking what they can and can't do. I know, XRP's for, is it remission? Whatever it is, to make payments faster and forward and backwards in 4 seconds. So I know, right? Helping the banks and whatnots. But what I'm getting at is that the supply is what's important, because when you look at supply, you can see what kind of prices certain coins can hit based on the supply. This went to £2.50. So, if Veracity was to go to £2.50, you just got to keep it real. Seeing at the price that it is now, it's an absolute insane gain. You're talking over 100x. But I'm going to get to that. Hold on. Take a look at this. This is Cardano supply, 45 billion. And again, I'll bring these up because eventually, if we want, if we're investing in Veracity thinking it can do really well, we want it to compete in the top 10, 15 coins, and I believe it can go there. And I'm looking at other coins that are up in the top 10, 15 that have this, supplies. Matter of fact, if Veracity sticks at 20 billion, let's say we've got 10 billion now, and over 5 to 10 years, this extra 10 billion comes in because it's going to dilute it. It would be on 20 billion in supply. Now, you know how I think, because, 45 billion, Cardano went to, where's the all-time high for Cardano? Let's just highlight it right here, all-time high. It has 45 billion in supply, right? And it went to £2.24 price. Whether you want to class it as circulating supply or not, it's entirely up to you. This right now circulating 33 billion, right? So, it went as high as £2.24. I'm using it as a marker. I'm using that as that's my average point of where I believe it can go, between £2.20 and £2.50. Veracity can seriously go there should it perform well. And if it does, what are we talking? Let's just call it £2.30 price. I don't mind, because if Veracity goes to a £2.30 price and you divide that by the price of what it is right now, where are we now? Here we go, 0.0046. I'm going to be precise on this. Divide it by point. What kind of X gain could we potentially see, given the fact everything's just been updated? You can what? That doesn't sound right. don't care. Because if you're telling me, I gotta check this again. If you're telling me that this could potentially, you know, should it perform well, and it was to go to like a £2 to £3 price, £2.50 price, that's a 494x gain. That doesn't sound. Let me look at this. Ross times 10 is 4 pence. Times 100 is 46 pence. Ross! 100x, 46 pence. 200x is 92 pence. You best believe it doesn't bother me, because even if it only goes to a max of £2.40 or whatnot, I'm happy with that. £2.30, I'm happy with that. So this is why I wanted to break it down. And this is why I think that it's still a good buy. I mean, if it ever does that, you get me? I mean, you have to times the market cap by 494 as well, because if the price is going to go up 494, cool. What's the market cap going to be sitting on? Let's times the market cap by this. Is it realistic? Because if it's not realistic, if it's sitting in the trillions of market cap, it's not realistic. Times this by the market cap it is right now, which is 48 million. You'd be looking at a 23 billion market cap. I think it's doable. Matter of fact, I've been calling Veracity to go to 100 billion. And I still think it can hit 100 billion in market cap in the future. Not right now. Give it 5-10 years when it grows adoption. You know, all these new companies coming on board and people start to realize. I think it can go there. But a 23 billion market cap is what it will be sitting on when it hits a £2.30 price. And you know what? I'd be happy for half of that. Divided by 2. Half! Because you're still talking a 250, 249x gain on your money. No, I'm happy with half of that. Let me divide that by half as well. Okay, I gotta stop. I'm happy with that, because that's 125x gain. When you see it at a 6 billion market cap, that's 100x gain. 46 pence. I'm going to leave it here. I hope this helped you. I hope this kind of helps, you know, your mind a little bit. I'm going to drop some videos over the next couple of days on how much you should have. You know, is X amount enough for Veracity? Because there's a lot more that I want to talk about with Veracity. If you liked it, please drop that like. Give me a subscribe if you're new watching. If it helped you, great. This is what this video is about, trying to help you. This real quick, you saw a quick glimpse of it. I'm dropping VR Hangouts. I love the metaverse, and this is a great way to interact with you guys. If you want to come into my VR space and talk with me, chat, hang out, laugh, you know, talk about crypto, you can do so, but you need to become a Patreon because it's exclusive to my patrons. You need my exclusive VIP partner tier. I'm going to scroll down and show you this one here, because I'm going to drop a code that will give them access to, you know, the VR space, and then they can be friends with me and we can talk and hang out and chat and whatnot. And I'm going to try and do it frequently. So click my link in the description, become an exclusive VIP partner if you have an Oculus Quest, because you need the Quest headset, and it'd be great to see you over there. We can chat and laugh, okay? Talk about crypto. I do have other tiers as well. You can choose which is best for you if you want. The next tier above gives you my CEO tier, which is my VIP access to my Telegram group. So you can have that as well. There's great profiles, high crypto profiles in this space, sharing fantastic projects all the time, and they know how to make money. This is big money in this space. That's all I'm saying. And it's not one of these over flooded Telegram. This is exclusive. You know, you've got a limited amount of people that have big money, that know how to make big money. That's all I'm saying, guys. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Cheers.